Okay, for our first example on mean, median, mode, and range, we're going to take a look at how much sleep I've gotten in the last 6 days. And so I've listed them off here, last 6 days, day 1, 6 hours, and you can read those and how many hours I got of sleep each night. But what we're going to do is we're going to just answer these questions. So what is the mean number of hours? And if you remember correctly, mean means average. So we just want to make sure, and you want to make sure, you understand what the word mean means. That is referring to average. Okay, mean is average. All right, so to calculate average, we need to add all of our numbers. So I'm going to show my work on this one just because this is the first time we've done it in this class. So 6 plus the next night was 7.5. The next night was 6.5. The next night was 5.5. The next night was 6, and the last night was 6.5. Okay, so those are all of my numbers added together, and if you remember correctly, when you find the average, or the mean, you add them all up, and you divide by how many there are. And there are 6 numbers there, so we need to add them all and divide by how many there are. All right, add all of the top, and when you add the top, all of those numbers add up to give 38. Divide by 6. And when you do 38 divided by 6, you'll find out that you get 6 1/3, or 6.3 repeating. And that is my mean. So it looks like over the last 6 nights, the average number of hours of sleep that I've gotten is about 6 1/3 hours of sleep. Okay, that's mean. Let's take a look at median, the median number of hours. Okay, median, again, we got to remember what the word median means. And I again think of the center strip of land in between a freeway. It's called a median. It's in the middle of the road, or in between the two sides in the middle. Median is the middle number, and I have to remember that I need to list all of the numbers out in order. So the smallest number, or the least hours of sleep that I got, was 5.5. Next is a 6. I see another 6, and I will list them twice. I need to list all of them. I see 6.5. Another 6.5, and a 7.5. Those are the 6 numbers listed in order, and to find the median, I need to find the middle number. And this set there's not a lot of numbers in this set, so you should be able to see the middle, although there's something weird happening here. To find it though, a lot of people will cross off the first number, and the last number, and they'll keep doing this till they get to the middle. And notice if I cross the next 2 off, there's nothing left, and so I don't want to do that. I need to take a look at these 2 middle numbers, and I need to look right down the middle of those 2. Halfway between 6 and 6.5 is 6.25. And if you didn't know that 6.25 was in the middle, you could always average 6 and 6.5, and you would get the middle number. So the median, in this case, is the middle number. There isn't a middle number, so I need to average the 2 middle numbers, and I would get 6.25 for the median. So we've done mean and median. Let's take a look at mode. We know that mode, again, the word mode, number of hours, mode is the most common. So when I look at these, I'm looking for the most common number of hours of sleep. And it looks like I see a 6 and a 6. I see that number twice. I see a 6.5 and a 6.5. I see that number twice. The 5.5 and the 7.5 only happens once. So the most common, actually, that happens to be 2 most common numbers here. There's actually 2 modes. So my modes are 6 and 6.5. It is okay that I have 2 modes. They're the most common numbers. Okay, and let's look at range. The range for the number of hours of sleep that I got. Remember, to do range, it's probably best for you to think of it as high minus low. Okay, and in this case, the highest, or the most number of hours of sleep I got was 7.5, minus the lowest number of hours of sleep I got was 5.5. And 7.5 minus 5.5 is 2. So that means the range, the difference between the most sleep and the least sleep I got, was 2 hours. There's a 2-hour difference between my best night of sleep and my worst night of sleep, I guess.